It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theater, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors, beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey, Jim.
Hey, Bryce.
You're already annoying me. And also we have the Merman, who could never annoy me. How you doing, Mer?
Well, let's just see how this next hour goes.
I annoy him all the time, but he has yet to annoy me.
Especially when he looks so damn fabulous
He's
today.
looking good. You are looking good today,
Especially
Merman.
when Bryce doesn't shovel his walk.
Hey, it's
I
shoveled
almost
now.
killed myself.
It's shoveled now. It's shoveled now.
Gus, he knew on the way out you were going to cause a lawsuit.
Exactly. On the way out, it was going to be dark, so I made sure the path was clear for you, my friend, because that's how much I care about you.
Yeah,
Yeah, he doesn't care about me.
No, I don't. With the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Well, thanks to all been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, or even just like us a little bit, then please like, subscribe, and share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform.
I like us a little bit.
I do too sometimes. Or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/FilmRageYYC. And you want to do that as soon as you can, because we're probably going to unplug from that at some point, but that's a whole other story.
Yes.
Buy me a coffee with your horribleness. But we'll save that for another time.
I don't even know what's going on.
Is this part of the trade wars?
Yeah, something like that. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible film. And we'll watch it if it's played anywhere in the cinema in the world. Now, let's get to raging. What would the amazing Merman predict? What would the amazing Merman predict? Will he predict the rage or will he predict the mondo? Will he tell us all what Jim and Bryce saw at the movies? Better watch out, kids, cause here he comes. He's coming swimming to you. Swimmer, swimmery.
Swim, Murray, swim.
Swimmery, swimmery.
Swim, Murray, swim.
Swim all the way to our hearts, our little hearts, hearts, hearts.
All right, well, so far February sucks.
What?
It got cold, and then there was
It's
snow,
cold.
so I didn't
It's
go
so cold.
any damn place. So I did not see that many movies. I didn't make
You
it to
saw one.
I made it to one because it was in my neighborhood.
Nice.
You guys managed to see, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4.
We
4
did.
films.
All right, first up is Companion, which is I labeled
Companion.
Lucy meets Terminator meets Megan meets Ex Machina.
I don't know what some of that meant, but some of it I understood.
Sex bots go wild, basically.
Sex bot.
Didn't we were talking earlier that the director only made porn before this? So
No, I
maybe
looked. See, I thought he looked familiar, but this is like his first feature film.
Oh.
Come on, name like Drew Hancock. He totally made
he must
porn.
have done porn.
Sure.
Maybe he was in porn.
Maybe.
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 He was an actor too.
Yeah.
It's
It's all making sense now.
Sure.
Sex bot.
Yeah.
Well, it's got that guy from The Boys in it. And
Yes.
Literally nobody else I've ever seen in life.
I don't know who the boys is.
It's a
I don't
superhero
know. I
show.
didn't enjoy it that much. I imagine you guys probably didn't either.
Who was in the boys?
Let's go
He was.
Double Rage.
Who's in the boys?
the main actor.
Josh? Jack Quaid?
Yeah.
Oh.
One of those Quaid boys.
Quaid boys? There's more than one?
Well, I don't know. Is he related to one of the other two?
I don't know. Or who's he?
Looks a little like Dennis, if you ask me.
Maybe he's
Is
his
he
son.
related to Dennis?
Maybe he's a son. Well, that'll be your project.
Maybe you can look it up
You're
while
shutting
I'm
the
doing
fuck
this.
up while Murray talks.
Yeah, so we got Double Rage for that one.
You're going rage on what?
Companion.
Right.
Hard Truths,
Yes.
which was British.
Yeah.
Starred that woman, what's her name?
Marianne-Jean Baptiste.
Yeah, who I have never ever seen in life until this
should.
trailer.
You should.
But you guys put on the mesmerizing list.
Because she's mesmerizing.
So how could this be anything but a double mondo?
Well, maybe because we didn't like the movie as much as.
I don't know. I don't see that possible. Even I liked it unless I was a trailer. Dog Man. Man with the head of a dog. It's a cartoon.
Yeah.
Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan were together? Or
Yes.
are they together?
No,
And
were
they
a long
had
time
him
ago.
as a baby?
Long
Yeah,
time
he's
ago.
their baby.
There you go.
What?
No, they used to date. There you go.
Nice.
I don't know who. I didn't even know that.
No, they used to date. I know
Really?
that.
Well,
Maybe it was
apparently, well,
just in the 80s.
if they didn't date, they at least had
So
sex
is
once.
Dennis Quaid's kid. There you go.
Speaking of sex
I
robots.
would definitely have set him over his brother Randy because Randy's just ugly.
Randy?
Yeah, Dog Man. It's a cartoon.
Yes.
How's Randy
And it's
Quaid
about a half
ugly?
man, half
what are you
dog.
talking about?
It looked really stupid,
Yes.
but I'm sure you guys liked it, so let's go double meh.
Okay.
And finally, green and gold.
You
Or
like this? You're
as-
putting some thought into these predictions.
As football fans will know, the colors of the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, and the Edmonton Elks.
Yeah.
I don't recognize that name.
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah, it looks like a churchy
that's
type
their
movie
name.
because the guy prays to God and he bets his farm on Brett Favre and the Packers.
Sorta.
And his daughter or granddaughter is a music person, and she gets into
Sorta.
a romantic relationship with some other.
Kind of.
Sorta.
Yeah, double rage. There you go.
That's quite the prediction.
That's
on that one.
the only slam dunk of the weekend there.
You think so?
Murray. Yeah, there's no way that. But you knew going in there was a double rage.
Yeah.
Jim knew it was a double rage.
Yeah.
I knew it was a double rage. I was
Yep.
hoping it wouldn't be, but maybe it wasn't.
Well, you
Who
never
knows?
know.
This could-
We still- it's
I could be blowing
more to come.
Exactly, and I don't know what Jim rated it.
That's
I was
right.
sitting beside it, beside me while we
All right.
watched it.
Fire away.
What are we doing?
You're talking about.
You're talking
movies.
about
That's
Companion.
Kind of what we do here.
Companion. Companion is a glimpse into the future where you can order a companion,
Nice.
which seems in this case to be code for a sex bot.
It is a sex bot.
You can set their eye color, intelligence, aggression, amongst other things. Enter Josh, who has ordered one of these bots by the name of Iris. Josh has a foolproof plan
Yes.
to rob a wealthy Russian by having his sex bot murder him. And then he can rob him and then blame the murder on the sex
robot.
bot. It's,
Yes.
Yeah.
if you've seen that story once, you've seen it 1,000 times.
Sounds like
I've seen it a
a
thousand
rock
times.
solid plan.
And he's
What
able,
went wrong?
but he's able to do this because he's able to hack Iris and set her aggression level to 100.
Yes. And other things.
Which
he did
is
other
not good.
hacking.
Yeah, he did some hacking. So
Yeah, he made
she's
her
like,
stupid. Is what he did.
well, he made her partially dumb. He didn't make her all the way dumb.
He made her
He made
40%.
her all the way dumb later in the
He
movie.
made her like what you and I are. It's like 40% of what normal people
100% of
are.
our usual.
At any rate, that's pretty much the movie. From there, you can probably write the rest yourself. And I think maybe they just did. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't like this movie at all.
No.
It had a couple of funny bits at the start, and then it just progressively got more and more dumb, which is fine in a movie like this, but I don't know. I thought that they could have turned up the gore factor if they're going to make a movie like this. I thought that the funny bits should have been funnier. I thought that I honestly thought they had the right cast in place.
Yeah.
Everybody was fine in it. I enjoyed Megan Surrey's as Kat, as the, sarcastic, bitch of the crew. I liked their casting of the gay couple. I liked there was a lot that they had to work with. I thought the script lacked. I really liked Sophie Hatcher. I don't even know
Yeah.
if I've probably seen her before. I just don't recognize her. But
Yeah.
Sophie Thatcher as Iris was good in it. I'm trying to decide if I liked because I really did like the cast. Even Jack Quaid, in the role he was in, I liked him just fine. Rupert Fine as Sergey
Sergey was awesome.
he was funny.
Such a bad.
I'm just trying to decide if the cast actually
Saved it.
saved it because I enjoyed some performances in it.
There was well.
I-
you be you.
Yeah, I will be
Boo-boo.
me. I always am.
Sometimes.
I just got bored to tears by its third act, and everything was just so predictable, and maybe it wasn't dumb enough. I don't know, but I wasn't that entertained. I think you were more entertained than me. I'm gonna give this a rage.
All right. Mur, what'd you think of Sex Bot?
Yeah.
Sex
So,
Bot woman.
After being stuck at home for 4 days with the
Yes.
minus 30 and the
With your
snow
own
and,
sex spot.
and not being able to go anywhere.
Do you have a sex bot, Mer?
No,
Yeah, it's called
I do not.
It's called a
Oh,
What's
that's
that?
too bad.
That vacuum cleaner again that he owns?
Hoover.
Yeah, the Hoover.
I don't know Hoover.
Mrs. Hoover.
Have you?
Anyway, after 4 days of being
So
stuck
you
at home,
stick your wiener in the hose,
Yeah.
I braved the elements.
and then you turn it on.
Yeah, then you put the other
That's
thing up
gotta
your butt.
hurt.
It kind of
All
blows
right,
out the
let's
back
move
and push
on.
sucks from the front.
Won't you if you put it in your butt and you turn it on? Aren't you gonna prolapse? All of a
No,
sudden you'll have your anus
No,
outside of your
because
body.
there's a suck and a blow on a vacuum cleaner.
There's a suck and a blow.
Yeah, that's how vacuums work.
There's no blow
There is on the old ones on a Hoover. Absolutely.
on an old Hoover. You can blow.
Yes.
Huh.
Now, guess where he's going after the podcast
I'm
tonight?
gonna go find myself a
Mrs.
used
Hoover, too.
an old vacuum cleaner and
Are you two done?
see what's going on with that.
I think so. Okay, sorry, what were you saying?
I don't know. I forgot. So yeah, after 4 days of being stuck at home, I decided to brave the elements, dig out my car, make my way to my local cinema to see this movie. Thankfully, it was Cheap Tuesday, and the discount was actually only $5, so it was worth the money then.
$5.
$5,
Make
$4.93.
you holla.
For the first 20 minutes of this film, I was bored and shockingly unimpressed by the entire cast,
What?
including Mr. The Boys. Didn't really like him in that show, and so far I'm not liking his movie career that
What
much
the
either.
boys is?
You should know.
Then the murdering started, and the movie picked up. For a while, anyway. This Lucy meets Ex Machina meets Terminator meets Megan ripoff only further fuels my immense distrust of AI and computers in general.
Who's Lucy?
See, I was kind of turned on myself.
Lucy was ScarJo.
Who's ScarJo?
Scarlett Johansson.
Oh,
What
I
are
know
you?
her.
What planet are you on?
Lucy, where she gets injected with this drug and she goes from having 10% of her brain to 100%.
Oh, that was her name was Lucy.
Yeah,
Lucy was
it was
the
a
name of
Luc
the character.
Besson movie.
But
What was the name of the movie?
Lucy. She
Really?
got smarter and
I
smarter.
remember the movie. I don't remember Lucy being Lucy.
Yeah,
Well,
anyway,
let Murray tell
she
you
got
more about
smarter.
this.
Okay, I'm
much
sorry.
Much like Iris, who cranked up her intelligence from 40% to 100.
So they just totally
You think
ripped that
Shimmies-
off
They
too.
totally did.
Ugh, this movie's the worst.
But yeah, basically, I trust computers and AI even less now. I guess that was the point. This sex pot turned Terminator story was mildly entertaining,
Okay.
although I was counting the minutes until all of the despicable humans finally got killed. The Jack Quaid character was an absolute slime ball,
Yeah.
and he was a cocky bastard for a majority of the film.
Yes.
Yes.
Luckily, he got what he deserved in the end.
What?
Actually, he deserved worse than what he got at the end.
She's a
I don't
robot, for
I don't
God's
even remember
sakes.
what happened at the end. He got something at the end.
Yeah,
He got something.
He
all right.
got. Believe me, he got it.
Oh, I've
So,
kind of forgotten this movie already.
To that end, it was a very predictable film. Yeah, it was a rage. Of course it was.
Yeah, it was a total rage. It's just poo poo.
I should have just stayed home.
Totally. I should have just stayed home too.
It's a $5.
I didn't even get my 1,000 points or whatever for going to the movies that night because Jim said, "Oh, we gotta go to the stupid Cineplex and watch these movies, and let's watch, and then we gotta watch it in AVX and
Yes.
get charged $5
AVX
more
was
dollars."
Awesome. You know what? I'm not going to tell you the whole story that's behind that because if he would have done what I said in the first place,
Well, I
we
didn't
wouldn't-
know I was gonna be off in time. Just,
So whose fault is that?
anyways, get on with it. I feel like I'm hijacking this episode.
Yeah, you really.
Yeah,
I
you're
need
a
to
little-
talk less.
You're a
Yeah,
little.
you do.
You're at, like you said. I was at an 11. You're at an 11.
Yeah,
we need you
well,
at a 4. Your
whatever.
usual place 4.
Yep.
Okay, so let me tell you what I thought about Companion. Sexbot robot revenge horror.
Yeah.
And in my comparison, Murray, it's Blade Runner
Okay.
meets iRobot meets Sleeper with Woody Allen in it.
Ah.
This was a fun ride for most of this film. The comedy was very on point and had a pretty good idea for the story. Not fully original, as we have seen Isaac Asimov's Rules of Robot movies, where the programming put the rules in for the robots. The problem with this one, though, is that those same rules are where it completely didn't stick to them for most of the times. There are times that and I'm going to put in heavy quotes, bad guy or Iris's bot daddy had opportunities or did certain things that she was his bot. She was her what did I say?
Yeah, I know, but
bot daddy. That's what it was. Yeah. Well, now I forgot where I was. All right. So he did certain things that the rules would have allowed, and then never happened. And then when a sex bot supposedly does a reset, it does just that. When you reset something, there are not stored memories except in your backup, and they didn't pull out of the backup. Try rebooting your iPhone and asking it to remember things. There are some fun kills. The surprises aren't really, unknown. There is no surprises. All in all, I had fun. It was a fun robot sex bot revenge movie, but it had, I would say quite a few flaws. I didn't hate it. I thought there were some fun parts. I like murdering robots, so it was meant for me.
All right.
I got some unpacking, though.
Okay, go for it.
When the bad guy says shut down, so Meg Ryan's kid says shut down, like, why does it sometimes shut down and sometimes it just doesn't shut down?
Well, I believe the term is supposed to be go to sleep.
Whatever he said, whatever he's telling her.
But
there was a flaw.
Because there was an explanation for that.
Well, no, eventually she steals his phone.
Yeah.
And turns off those settings.
She turned off the settings.
But that wasn't until the very end.
No. When that happened, she had already gotten the phone and turned off those settings.
But then eventually...
That's why he was surprised when he was saying it. It didn't work. It's because he didn't have his phone anymore, and she had already turned it off.
But then eventually,
she knew that was coming.
Eventually,
so that
T1000 stole it back.
We can pack that in again. We don't have to unpack that.
Oh, okay, that's not. Let's repack it.
Yeah.
So
that is 100%. So
then T1000 stole the phone back, restored the settings.
Yes.
So from that point on, then all he has to say is go to sleep, and she does.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
And that's why he was able to after when he got his phone back.
Yeah.
Yeah, not all of it made sense.
No,
not all of it made sense, but that did. There was lots that didn't, but that did.
Okay, well, that's just an example of many things in this.
All right.
Well,
but that isn't an example.
What I loved is they made this plan to rob from this Russian guy who was a douchebag, apparently.
Yeah, he was actually, seems like
he's a sod farmer. He's not a gangster at all.
No.
He's just a rich farmer.
He's still a douchebag.
Yeah,
apparently he's got a wife and a girlfriend on the side.
They thought he was some kind of mobster guy. And he wasn't.
Don't they think, like most people think?
By the way, how the hell does he
accents.
got that much money? Like, there's got to be there's no explanation as why he's got so much cat. Like, there should have been some sort of explanation.
Sod farmers make a lot of money.
I'm sure sod farmers do make a lot of money, and they all keep it in cash in a safe in their house.
Because they don't trust banks.
Russians don't trust banks.
Yeah. There you go.
Because their banking system.
I'm sure he had some coke.
I could go on for hours talking about the Russian banking system. But I won't.
Oh, please do.
Let's move on from this crap.
We're going to move on.
I want to hear about the Russian banking
system.
system.
Take that offline. We didn't start a Russian bank podcast.
I think everybody would like to hear about it, Jim.
Yeah, no, they don't.
All right, whatever.
All right, and they probably, I don't know. Well, so I'm interested to see what other people think about this movie. I think if you like sex bot revenge movies, you might like it.
Wasn't enough violence.
It wasn't enough anything. It was just blah. Yeah. So blah. I'm like, no.
I hated every one of the characters.
No.
All right. Well, let's move on to.
I don't like you.
Hard. Not
Companion.
Sex robot. Not hard sex robot truths. It's hard truths.
Right.
So, this is introspective and intimate portrait of a family in turmoil and abuse from a central figure who has been traumatized in her youth and is angry at the world in ways no one can understand.
She doesn't like people.
She doesn't like people at all, Murray.
Much like me.
It would have been like, it was like the female version of Murray.
It was the old black version, with the female version of me.
That's right, exactly.
She doesn't like people.
Her anger is so over the top and ridiculous at times.
Like me.
That for the first half, so that at the first half of this film, It's humorous. It's so unreal, the things she says to people and how she treats them. Most of the people in the cinema that I saw this with, in a sold-out cinema, by the way, were laughing out loud most of the times when she was saying things, me included.
Absolutely.
All the while, her sister is always joyous and a treat everyone will love and enjoy. We get a look deep inside the effects that this has on both their families. From Marianne-Jean Baptiste, who is our angry sister, she lives in a loveless marriage from what appears to be her own doing, and a son who is filled with disdain for her and doesn't seem comfortable in his own skin and the world that he lives in. For a movie that starts out making us laugh at the absurdity, we slowly turn from laughing to sadness as the story lets us feel everything all these damaged characters feel. This culminates on a Mother's Day celebration where the two sisters start to understand one another for the first time in what's got to be decades. Ultimately, by the end of the film, we are left with, in my opinion, a perfect ending and to absorb all that we have experienced. And the story ends with nothing resolved. And I mean nothing. This was a roller coaster ride of emotion for me. Yes, there was some threads of the story that seemed like they weren't important, and perhaps also seemed some of these threads went nowhere. But I got past this as the story of these two women and how this ended was so amazing, which I'm still processing this film because there's a lot going on with these characters. I love this film. It was Mondo. And I know some people may not have the same feelings that I do for this, because I think there is some flaws in the actual direction, but I got past it easy enough because the characters were so deep for me. Anyway, it's Mondo.
Yeah. Mike Leigh is a director. Is kind of hit and miss for me. I'm always like amazed at the way, as a writer, he's able to write like black characters, because he seems to be really good at it. Yeah. Which is weird for, an 80-year-old white man. Or maybe it isn't. But this is definitely a unique journey. Marianne-Jean Baptiste is amazing in it, as is Michelle Austin. They're the two sisters in this. It's a strange movie.
It is a strange movie.
Yeah, I found myself absolutely almost annoyed by the character until they got to the scene in the bedroom where the sisters, she's over at her sister's house. She goes to the bedroom to just kind of get out of the room and just decompress a little because she's getting a little emotional. For the first time, we see her get emotional in a reflective and sad way, as rather than just rage.
Yeah.
So her sister goes in, and at that point, this movie turned for me.
Yeah, it totally turned.
And it's not that I didn't hate it going into that moment, but I was like, what are we doing? This is going nowhere. And that moment was enough to turn this film completely for me, where I thought that I actually might rage on this, but I ended up having an appreciation for the whole journey because of where it ended up there. Yeah. And as you say, it's got a perfect ending.
This ending is so perfect.
That I am as well, just still processing as well. It's good. It's very, very good. And it will lead, it does stay with you. Like, there's no question. This
is one of those ones I think you got to watch again. Like, I really do. It's funny how, like, sometimes, like, you're taking a lot of time to process this film, just like you did with the other one, where you're like, you might have gone to man. This film, it's a hard watch. It's a really hard watch.
It is.
But the characters, there's just, like, the level of complexity to these two characters is probably the most complex characters I've seen in a story in a long time. And when we look at, say, a Nora, as an example, as a comparison. We hated those characters for half of the movie.
Yeah.
This one, we loved her sister through the whole movie.
We loved her.
And
I actually, it's a weird thing, but by the end of the movie, I definitely had affection for both sisters.
Yes, because you knew exactly where she came from.
Yeah, and it's still meh for me,
Okay.
but
For me, if a movie sits with me for days on end, I can't give it anything more than less than a Mondo. For me,
yeah, I'm actually just impressed, to be honest, with Mike Leigh, that he's still turning out at his age, not only directing but writing stuff that's of this quality.
yeah, like normally we've seen with directors that
That they just like
get long in the
yeah,
tooth.
well, Clint Eastwood. He's
Perfectly
fallen.
good
Yeah,
example.
he's just getting worse and worse. And Mike Leigh, I wouldn't say he's getting better, because if you look at his, you'll go through his catalog.
Pretty good catalog.
He's pretty
yeah.
good. Other than I wasn't a big fan of a couple of them, but I really liked pretty much everything that he's ever made.
Yeah.
Like, really. I wasn't a big fan of Career Girls, but I mean, Secret and Lies was great.
Mm-hmm.
Secrets and Lies, Naked was great.
Mhm.
High Hopes was great.
Mhm.
Topsy Turvy was great. Vera Drake was very, very good.
So at some point we may have to.
We might have to look at them.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen Peterloo, so that's the one thing that may.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Sorry, I got sidetracked by
yeah.
Mike Leigh, but I'm just amazed at this. While everybody else seems to fall off a cliff at his age, he's still putting out some real quality
Well,
stuff.
and complex. Film is complex.
It really is, and it's a very, very good character study. And I as I say, I enjoyed it a lot. I just
When he watches it again,
yeah,
he'll come back and he'll
you know what? I'm not going to argue with you on that one, because I might watch this back again and I might come up with a different. I could totally see it. I could totally see it, but for now, it's very worth watching. Though, as I say, it's very good.
Just be ready, because there's time it's hard to watch. You gotta look for the humor in it for sure.
Yeah, and it's there. You really can't miss it. It's just sometimes you're like, why am I laughing at this?
Because it's so horrible.
But it's because it's funny.
Exactly. All right.
Anyways.
Well, why don't you tell us about Dog Man?
Dog Man. Can't believe you didn't go to Dog Man, Murr.
I don't think
He
so.
Of
doesn't
all the
like
movies that we
animated.
went to, you went to Jack Quaid's movie?
I
What's
don't
wrong
do
with you?
cartoons.
Oh, pish posh. That's what I have to say to that.
Didn't you see the Terminator? Or not Terminator. What's that robot movie?
I don't know.
So many robot movies.
Transformers.
Yeah, the Transformers. You saw that
Yeah,
one?
Yeah.
they're more than meets the eye.
And it was totally robot.
They're robots in disguise.
Because there was a Hemsworth in that one.
Oh, well.
That's an exception.
There was probably someone in Dog
Was it the
Man.
good Hemsworth or the bad one?
Well,
can never-
I consider him the good one.
Okay, so Liam.
If you talk to Miley Cyrus, it was the good one.
Who's Miley Cyrus?
She's a singer.
This is Billy Ray's daughter.
Who's Bill?
Bryce, don't feed him anymore. This
the
is gonna-
hoochie coo thing, or don't? What is it?
She's a wrecking ball.
Achy Breaky Heart.
That's it. The
See,
achy
you know
breaky
that
heart.
one. You know that
Hoochie
one.
coo heart.
Yeah, his kid. Yeah, she doesn't have a lot of good things to say about Liam. So yeah, no, it was the Hemsworth.
Ah.
And that one of the black dudes. What's his name? Who was in it?
The other guy that
Which-
you like that was in Transformers.
Transformers. Yeah, the other voice. It was
The bad guy.
No, he's Megatron. Yeah.
I don't remember.
Anyway,
Anyway,
that's why you
that's the
went.
reason why I went to that one.
Well,
All right.
That and I grew up with Transformers. That's different.
there you go.
I didn't grow up with Dog.
You grew up with Transformers, like they were in your house.
I had Transformers. Yes, I did. I had little ones.
Oh.
And then a big brown shark came.
I think I owned like one Transformer,
I never owned any.
and then I like
Transformers.
broke it. And
Of course,
that was
because
it.
everyone breaks them.
I know what.
Because there are some parts that are
And I was
not
like,
meant
this-
to be.
Then I was like,
transformed.
this is a stupid toy.
I had Dinobots.
What the hell is a Dinobot?
Anyway,
Anyways,
why don't you tell us
sorry.
about Dog Man?
Dog Man. I was about to, but then I got sidetracked.
Yeah, that's
like
happening a
all
lot.
night.
It's happening. a
Oh,
lot.
just stop it. It's fine.
My story's in a sack.
Yeah, do that too. Okay, Dogman. A cop and his partner, who happens to be a dog, are involved in an accident while trying to capture the criminal mastermind, Petey, who just happens to be the world's evilest cat. As a result of this horrible accident, the officer has sustained an injury where only from the neck down is he functional. From there, fate takes over as his canine partner has suffered injuries that render his body useless, and only his head is functional.
Yes.
The brilliant doctors then decide to take the dog's head,
2 lady doctors too, by the way,
and attach it to the officer's body. Hence, Dogman Super Cop is born.
Wow, 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 wow.
It's like Face Off.
Oh, yo, kinda.
There is so much silliness in this, but it walks the line of silly and cerebral like you've never seen. And the jokes come rapid style that will have you wanting to see it again just in case you miss something, and trust me, you will. You can feel the joy in the voices of the actors. You know they're having so much fun with every delivered line. The whole thing was perfectly cast, with Pete Davidson as Petey the cat, Isla Fisher as the TV reporter Sarah Hadoff, Lil Rel Howery as the police chief. Man, was he funny.
He was so good.
And Ricky Gervais is absolutely perfect as the most eviler villain, Flippy the fish. This was funny stuff. Super entertaining. Dogman singing along to I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry by Hank Williams was worth the price of admission alone. When that happened and Dogman started singing along, I lost it. I was laughing as hard in a movie. I had tears streaming down, and I was laughing for like the next 10 minutes. And my girlfriend Kim turns to me and is like, I mean, it's funny, but is it that funny? I'm like, yes.
Because it was that sad.
I was crying.
It was that sad.
It was so, oh my God. I don't remember laughing in a movie that hard in forever. Dogman was Mondo. I was literally brought to tears with laughter in this movie.
Yeah.
It was so good. And there's so much in it. There's so many little jokes and little things. If you look in the background, you'll see, and you might not, but you better watch it. Like, I can't wait to watch it again because I know there's so much I missed.
Oh, totally.
I'm going to be watching it at home so I can just rewind and watch that scene again and just keep on, get through the whole thing. It is so funny. I enjoyed this so much. It is super duper Mondo. I loved Dogman.
All right, well, let me tell you what I thought of Dogman.
Yes.
He's the greatest dog, the greatest dog man ever. A cop who's a man and his partner, who's a dog, explode in an explosion.
They do.
And then they get put back together.
Yes.
With the dog as the head and the body of the man. Because the dog is smart.
Dog is
smart. And the man body knows Kung Fu.
It totally knows Kung Fu.
And Dogman
That's an awesome combination.
Is born.
Yes.
With animation that feels like a cross between puppets and stop animation, and is super creatively drawn. Where the story is both fun, heartwarming, and extremely punny.
It's so punny.
It's so punny. All the jokes are both funny for adults and kids alike, but so many that are for adults with references that only adults would get. Sorry, my cough is horrible today. Of course, we have our hero, Dogman, his nemesis, the evilest cat in the world, Petey, the chief, the mayor, and the reporting team of Seamus and Sarah Hadoff, plus a super zombie come-to-life evil fish played by Ricky Gervais. This had me laughing all the way through it, and when I wasn't laughing, I was learning valuable lessons, Murray. Right. Like, love isn't just something you feel, It's something you do.
Mm-hmm.
And when you feel, Murray, listen to this, it's very important. When you feel life isn't fun or fair, you just got to call 1-800-Life Isn't Fair.
Yeah, I'm sure that helps.
And when that guy answers on the phone, he's going to say,
Life isn't fair.
and that's all he says.
That's deep.
It was pretty deep.
All my problems are solved.
No, life just isn't fair.
Yes.
It's like that old joke of, here's a quarter, call someone who cares. Call 1-800.
Well, it's a song, but yeah.
So the script was so well written and clever, when the humor of scenes come back later, reminding of you how fun it is, and at times is rapid fire with everything that's happening. You have so much fun, you almost forget you may have missed another rapid fire joke. Sorry. I haven't had this much fun watching a cartoon since I was a kid. I mean, I've loved animated films that I have thought were brilliant, but I've never had as much fun, and I mean actual fun, seeing a movie than I did having this. This is the most Mondo animated film I've ever seen, and I love animated films.
Yeah. It's so good.
There's only one thing I have to unpack, though.
What's that?
So his girlfriend leaves him, Murray, because he's a dog man.
Is he a dog now? Yeah. Why would you stay with him?
And I'm thinking to myself, okay, so why would you not want to stay with us? You get the best of all worlds. You've got a dog's head with a super long tongue, and you can pet him, and then you have the man body for the other things you need. Like, why would anybody leave that? That's literally the dumbest thing. I couldn't believe she left him. Am I crazy here?
You're making some sense.
Right? It makes complete sense. Why would you not stay with him?
Absolutely.
And it broke little dog man's heart.
Best of all worlds.
Yeah.
Was he so lonesome he could cry?
That's why he was so lonesome he could cry.
There you go.
God damn this
That's
cough.
explained.
All right, so everybody who has a kid or doesn't have a kid should see that movie.
Yeah, you don't have to have a kid. Just go to the movie. You'll look creepy while you're.
Is there foul
but
language
that's okay.
in this?
What's that?
No,
Is there foul language in this?
No.
of course not.
There's some insinuated things
Yeah.
in it.
Because some of those casts are known for their potty mouths.
Yeah, no, there's no potty mouth in it. There's
Oh.
there's a
They
lot
know
of-
they know what movie they're making though,
Hey,
Murray.
I've seen cartoons that have
Yeah, that's
swearing
true.
in it. So
There's what's that wiener one that
And this
Seth Rogen made?
yeah, the sausage
Yeah.
party.
Sausage
one,
Party, yeah. It's not Sausage Party.
No, this is a
an
kids movie.
animated
This is
show.
absolutely a kids movie that any adult that has that has a sense of humor will adore as well.
Yeah, okay.
And just be prepared that you are not going to catch everything that's on in here. There was a scene I actually talked to Bryce when we met up because we both saw this separately. And I was like, okay, did you see the scene where they made the reference to the Warrior? And he's like, yes. I'm just like, there's little things like that. And I'm sure there was so many things in here that you just miss. And it's another one of those reasons that you want to. I never really want to watch a movie ever again, but this movie I want to watch again.
Yeah.
I'm going to own it. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it with my grandson. I'm going to watch it with you, Murray, because you will like it.
I don't think I will.
You need some dog man in your life.
Everybody needs some dog man in their life, Murray.
Yep. It's true.
You're no different. You think you are, but you're not. You need some dog man too, just like everyone
I don't
else.
think so.
I think you do. Yes.
I was going to say that may be the only movie that we fully agree on.
So far.
Until
Yeah.
now.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna agree on this.
Green and Gold. And why they didn't choose this name as their name, because it makes way more sense. Maybe. God loves the Green Bay Packers. Like if you're going to
that made no sense either because they chose the year that they didn't win the Super Bowl to make this movie.
Oh, was that the year it was?
Yeah, they only got to the conference finals. They didn't even get to the Super Bowl. They
that
got
the
beat by Dallas.
I was gonna say they was at the Broncos.
Yep.
They lost to the Broncos too, I think.
Yeah, but no, they didn't even make the they only got to the conference finals in this. I think they got lost to Dallas in the conference finals.
They did. Which makes no
So
sense.
spoiler alert: he lost the farm.
Well, no. Well, Murray.
That's where it gets to completely dumb.
It's double or nothing.
Oh,
Okay, so Craig T. Nelson,
coach.
in his Tighty Whities,
Yeah, that's the only thing that was any
makes
worth
this
watching.
actually watchable.
There you go for those scenes.
But we only get that a couple scenes in the movie, and maybe totally on screen for maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Which are basically the only 30 seconds
best 30
we're
seconds.
seeing in this movie.
They're so good.
Then we got it was so good, and then we got convoluted rom-com farming football Jesus movie that none of it made any sense, or maybe I should say made complete sense to biopic movie magic, where a banker allows a bet when he should be repossessing a terribly idiotic 90-year-old farmer who, by some miracle, could save their farm after a year. Give me just another year. And even though his farm is in way too much debt, when he actually only has maybe 20 cows and possibly 2 pigs. I mean, even if milk prices go to pay $1,000 a gallon, they would never be able to pay back the bank or the debt that they have acquired, which, of course, only him, Craig T. Nelson's character, knows about the debt, and he's leaving everybody else that he's making be part of his dream be in the dark about everything. My God. This is so ridiculous and convoluted. The characters are paper thin, there's not one surprise that takes place through the entire script, except for the Tighty Whities. Everything else in this was completely horrible. And when I say horrible, I mean completely horrible. This was the biggest rage. Well, so far it's the biggest rage of 2025, and I can't see anything beating this by any stretch of imagination.
Could happen.
And I do have a question for you.
Do
you think the $20 every town member gave will continue to save their farm? I mean, after all, these people are really stupid. So everybody gives them $20 in town. If there's 500 people in town.
We don't know that they only gave 20. Some of them gave 20, but maybe there was like maybe they had one guy that's like super rich and gave him like $2 million. And then boom, they're in business again.
Do you think this is still going to save their farm? Like,
$2 million will save their farm, yeah.
I don't know.
In Wisconsin.
He's losing money every day he has that farm open. And then, of course, there's a QR code at the end of it. There's always a QR code.
Was there a QR code at the end? No.
Sure was.
Sure was.
To watch more episodes?
No. That's what we thought was going to happen, Mur. But no, it was a QR code to go learn more about Culver's Steakhouse.
What the hell?
This is put on by Culver's Steakhouse.
Yeah.
What, they sponsored the movie?
Yes, they did.
They did. It was brought to you by Culver's,
Yeah.
which I didn't even know what Culver's was.
Because he was a dairy farmer, so it made no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, they love their farmers, Culver does.
So, you know
what else they love there? They
what
love
I-
their cheese.
Sorry,
Yeah.
was this a rage?
Yeah, it was a rage. It was the worst.
Really?
It's the worst film.
Worst film
of this year.
this year. Wow. You know, I'm not going to go into this film because it's awful. There's so many dumb things in it. There's a dumb side story where she's a country
dumb side
music
story?
star or wants to be a
dumb
country
side
music star, and some guy like steals her song. Like there's so many.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, there's so many dumb things going on in this that you can't even keep track of. Just
Did Craig T. Nelson hunt him down and gut him like a deer?
No, he said he was going
He said
to.
he was going to.
Yeah, but
Did he?
didn't
Okay.
happen.
If it was me, I would have done that if they stole my granddaughter's
Well,
song.
she never told him, and nobody knew anything that was going on.
Well, then she's stupid.
Just like us. Like
Then
every
she's
single
stupid.
person is stupid,
Yeah.
and it made us feel stupid while watching this film.
No, I lost my train of thought.
There's
It was
the
going somewhere.
convoluted story about too many side stories.
Yeah. There's no, but that wasn't where I was going.
Yeah, that's the last thing you said.
Yeah, I know it's the last thing I said, but that was like the the
precipice.
tacked on to the meat of what I was gonna say, and
There was going to be.
then you guys
it would
started
actually-
yakking.
Was the
again,
meat
and
to
then
do with
it's
the
like,
cow farm? Because
has
the
nothing to do
20
with the cow farm.
the 20
Steakhouse?
cows, the 20 cows that they had on their farm that they were going to make money from.
20.
Yeah, well, nothing made
He had
sense
20
in this.
cows.
Yeah,
Well,
he had
they
20.
fit. They fit
Well, because
all
he
onto
does-
one truck.
He
Murray.
does things old style, and he doesn't do anything with like new equipment or anything.
Yeah,
he
anything
just
less than
does it,
100.
Even though he
does it the
had-
old way.
Anything less than
This
100.
is how dumb
they
this farmer
they
is.
hand milk them all,
Yeah.
and they all, but which is only 20
So he's
cows,
not
so
a
they
real
can do
dairy
it.
farmer, then.
Oh, he's a real dairy farmer.
Yep. Well,
But he's just waiting for the price of milk to go way up. I
This
guess.
is how dumb he is, Murray. He bought a tractor, but then
Yeah.
he never used it.
it
But the tractor is also faster than a car. It
Yes.
beat the car
to
into
town. Yeah,
Yeah.
which
Souped
makes
it up
sense.
with-
Which is probably 15 kilometers away from where he lives.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was. Did you have any other meat you wanted to add onto that cow bone?
I had something like totally genius
Was it
to
monumental?
I'm sure
say.
you did.
It was going to have people both laughing and thinking,
Is it written here?
but it's gone.
Is
No.
okay, so the first thing I have is, have you ever said anything that's actually genius? I don't think so.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I've said lots of stuff that's genius.
Do you have more? Can I hit the button now?
You can hit the button.
I guess it's a rage, but yeah, okay.
Aren't those Tighty Whities so good, though? The Tighty Whitey scenes were so good, Murray.
What did you, as a football fan, think about the football part of this movie?
Well, the football part was all just.
Non-existent, really.
Well, yeah, they flashed us some scenes of clips from the NFL, which apparently the NFL provided some clips for
I'm
it.
sure they paid for it too. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was all just dumb. Like, and the fact that a banker would say, "Yeah, I'll bet you that well, you can keep your farm if the Green Bay Packers win the Super Bowl." Like, it's supposed to be based on a true story. Like, it literally says based on what in there was true.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
But there is farmers in Wisconsin.
There's farmers in
But
Wisconsin.
nobody's
That's
stupid enough
the
to
only
bet their
thing that's
farm
true.
on a football game.
Some of those farmers have cows. I think that's
Yes.
it. I think that's
Well,
all the truth in
There's
there.
a lot of cheese in Wisconsin, so they must have a lot of
And
cows.
some farmers' granddaughters sing songs.
Yes,
do.
they
That's
sing
the
they sing
truth.
country songs.
They do.
So
Well, I've never heard any heavy metal groups from Green Bay or
I'm sure there is.
Milwaukee.
Oh, there's got to be some from Wisconsin. I
Oh
would
yeah, there's
imagine.
some pretty good death metal bands from Wisconsin for
Yes.
sure.
Sure. Anyway, is that
Yeah,
it?
that's all.
I guess that's it.
You can't think of
You know,
anything
if you
else?
remember anything later on, just-
Yeah, you can. put
you
in
can
your
bring out
rage.
this what did you call it? Genius.
The genius will
Can you
eventually
bring? You can
show
bring
up.
out the genius later on, because
All right.
our listeners are dying to hear it.
I'm sure.
Yeah, whatever.
Alrighty, I came across another gem this week
What?
without really looking for one. And guess what? It's a sports film.
Oh, so that's oxymoron.
So I
there,
guarantee Jim would probably hate it.
Murray. I already do. You don't even have to repeat it. hate
I like some
It's
sports films.
called Warrior Strong from
Sounds
2023.
One of my
Horrible.
favorite bands is from Wisconsin.
There you go.
Lazarus AD. They're
There you go.
awesome.
Okay then.
There you go.
Anyway,
So stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
All right. Well, we want to hear about this
Okay, sorry.
horrible sports
I just got
game.
excited because
started
I
watching-
love Lazarus AD.
That's fine. I started watching this movie for one reason.
Uh-oh.
Okay, sorry. What was the movie
And
called again?
Warrior Strong.
Warrior
2023.
Strong.
Probably didn't even hit the theater.
Warrior
I watched it for
Strong.
one reason. Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh God.
I know, the king of the dirty limericks and offensive comedy from the 80s.
He's a.
No matter what you think about his comedy, he's slowly turning into a decent actor.
Okay.
He's been in a number of acclaimed TV series, plus a solid performance in Blue Jasmine with Kate Blanchett. In this film, he plays a tired old high school basketball coach
Sounds horrible.
who his wife recently died, and he had a heart attack during a game, and his star player who went to the NBA from his team comes back and tries to take his job.
All right.
Look, this film uses pretty much every sports cliche there is. There is a disgraced NBA star who slithers back to his hometown for redemption. There's a team of losers that get molded into a winning team.
They're not saying Andrew Dice Clay was an NBA star.
No,
the other
he
guy,
was the coach. He coached there
Jordan
for 30
Johnson
years.
Okay.
And this tall black kid made it to the NBA.
Jordan Johnson Hines.
Yeah.
Oh,
whoever.
that he was.
And he comes back to his hometown to help him coach these losers. There's a sexist, racist prick on the team
This sounds.
that represents the worst of society.
This sounds like everything I hate.
There's
Sports.
a gender-neutral person who looks a lot like a female but identifies as they,
Nice,
who is ostracized and overlooked, who becomes part of the team,
of course,
even though it's an all-male team.
of course.
There's the fat kid with the heart of gold,
Yeah, and these guys are going to win
who
a
rides
game.
the bench.
Uh-huh.
And yes, there's a typical Mighty Ducks story with the Hollywood ending. But this film is about so much more than that.
Was it?
It had some heart and an emotional performance by the usually foul-mouthed Clay, who is getting soft in his old age. Yeah, you guys probably wouldn't like it. I think it's
Probably not.
actually a Canadian film, judging by the credits.
All right.
Telefilm Canada and all that.
Well, that would make it Canadian. You don't get any more Canadian than
It's
telefilm.
not a fantastic film and definitely very predictable. But I actually enjoyed it.
Okay.
Not a mondo, but definitely a sporty man. And I don't even like basketball. So it took a lot for me to enjoy it. But yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was on, so I watched it.
Okay.
Believe me, you did not want my alternate topic I was going to talk about. So be
Wait,
happy it was only that.
Where's my bag?
Oh.
I don't know.
I'm just going to put this into Bryce's bag.
Temperature rising.
Talking about.
Vision blurry.
Oh, don't. No.
Rage.
Don't be. So I'm going to put it in your bag. You shouldn't have said anything. I would have forgot about it. Now it's totally going in your bag. Warrior Strong 2023. Going in Jim's bag.
It's on Crave, by the way.
Is it?
Yes, that's where I saw it.
Nice. All right, okay, so my rage this week is actually turned out to be a positive, which has never happened.
Okay.
'Cause my rage is usually real, and it stays with me and helps to give me further ulcers that I have significantly in my gut. So, we got to watch Companion
Okay.
in AVX. And
That's my rage.
as
Did I mention I paid $5 to see that movie?
yeah, you did. We paid.
Yeah, we paid $15.
There you go.
That's right. And then
I win.
no, we win
Do we?
for the rage side of it.
Oh, because we did. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I
and-
forgot about that, actually.
And so we had to rewatch the movie, let's say the first 10 minutes, twice, Murray,
God.
because the voice didn't match up with the film.
Lip sync
did
was
not
off.
sync.
Yeah.
It was not synced. So then even after the syncing was redone, it still wasn't synced. So
Yeah.
we watched the entire movie as if it was overdubbed, like it was actually filmed in another country.
Sweet.
And then they overdubbed it with English.
Did I mention my honeybee story? Or whatever that movie was?
You know.
With James Caan and Ellen Burstyn?
Oh yeah, that one. The
Yeah, we
horrible-
lost power to the whole theater halfway through the movie.
Oh, I wish I would.
And then they restarted it, but they restarted it like past where we had seen. So we missed a big chunk of the movie in the middle.
Sounds good anyway
Yeah.
for that.
So yeah,
movie.
we had a power outage.
Yeah, well, we didn't have a power outage. We rewatched the first 10 minutes twice
Sweet.
with the syncing wrong.
I mean, the part
But
that I
the-
almost fell asleep during?
Yes. But the positive, yeah, we rewatched it twice. But the positive spin on it was that this is the first time. So this is a props. We don't normally like to give Cineplex props because most of the time
Well, yeah.
it's like they don't even care
They
about
should
their
give you a
clients.
free pass.
So they actually came into the movie and gave the four of us that were in the cinema.
Oh, they're lucky then.
All
Well,
four of us.
they not only gave us a free pass, they gave us an option.
Yeah, they did.
They said, we'll give you 2 free passes if you want to leave now because this is just not working for you. Or we'll give you 1 free pass if you want to suffer through the rest of this movie with the audio not synced.
Sweet.
So we just took the one.
You toughed it out.
We toughed it
We
out.
didn't
and
want to
took
come
the
back
free
in
admission.
AVX.
Yeah. And I'm looking at the ticket. I'm actually more impressed now because it's
You can use it for anything.
you can use it for anything.
Well, we paid basically the most expensive.
Well, no, we didn't. There's more expensive stuff we could have.
So we can use it in VIP?
We can do IMAX, 3D, D-Box, 4DX, Ultra AVX. You can do it for any of those.
No, not VIP though.
Wait a second. Cineplex Prime seats or VIP auditorium. Yeah.
Nice.
Cineplex Prime seats or VIP auditorium.
Sweet.
So you can go to VIP with
We're
us
going to be
too.
going to VIP this weekend then. Let's do it.
You will. I won't.
All right, that was my rage.
But you can't earn any scene points
All right then.
Why?
because you're not paying
It's a free
anything.
ticket.
You already got your scene points.
You got your
with
scene points in
ticket.
the other movie.
This doesn't earn you any scene
Then
points.
that's my rage.
There's your rage right
I
there.
should get scene points
I should
too.
get my scene points too.
All right, so my rage is related to your rage, sort of adjacently. My rage is movies that aren't anything special to look at. There's nothing overly visually stimulating in them. There's absolutely no reason that they need to be in an AVX cinema or a laser ultra cinema, and they're just in there to gouge you for a few more bucks.
Yep.
There is no way this movie needed to be an AVX.
Yeah,
There's
you're right.
nothing in it that made it AVX worthy.
They should have
There's
put it as
nothing in it that
3D.
makes it laser ultra worthy. There's nothing, and I gotta spend $5 more on the ticket because it's the only time that happened to be convenient. I understand that we could have gone a different
If you'd gone to a
route
regular theater,
had I known-
guaranteed it would have synced up. It
Yeah,
was
well,
it
maybe.
was the AVX that screwed you over.
Well, there you go. AVX doubly screwed me over then. But I'm sick of movies that are in these specialty cinemas that absolutely don't need to be in the specialty
But you know
cinemas
why
other
that
than to
is,
gouge you
though,
for a
right?
few
But
extra
you know
bucks.
why that is, though, right? They
Why
have
is
the
that?
cinema already built,
Yeah.
and they're going to put a movie in it.
Well, they got to
Yeah.
put a movie in it, but there
so
must
they
have
put
been
the new release.
there
that
must
week.
have been something else that warranted AVX that was playing at that cinema, though. I guarantee there was.
They put the new releases.
That is garbage.
Of all the new releases, so if we list down our new
I don't
releases,
care. That just
Sexbot was the only one.
Sexbot did not
Actually,
need to be in
Dogman
AVX.
should have been in.
Dogman should have been
That
in
was the number
AVX.
one movie.
There we go.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
So ultimately your rage
'Cause it
is
was
the
a cartoon.
Dogman.
I would have
You
loved to
haven't
have seen Dogman in AVX.
I know.
There you
Me
go.
too.
Because that was visually stunning.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go. That's my rage.
Oh,
That's
you
your
got-
rage.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
Last time on Rage or Dare, Jim braved Bryce's newly minted rage bag again and pulled the 2018 John Travolta film, Gotti. This week, Jim and Bryce will get the honor of raging or daring together. Now let's check in with Jim and find out what it's like to see a John Travolta movie with a 0 fresh tomato rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Is this really a thing? There's a movie with a 0? Oh boy. Or should I say, yikes. I'm sure glad I wasn't Jim this week. Unlike most weeks where who wouldn't want to be Jim?
Exactly. My point.
Wasn't Battlefield Earth a 0 rating? Did someone actually enjoy that?
I don't
one?
know. Maybe it's got John Travolta in it. It's pretty much a 0 rating these days. So, okay. Let me make this real simple. First off, what the heck was this? John Travolta is horrible. And when I say horrible, he is horrible in this. The story is like all over the place. Makes up like so much time where it's just flipping around. You don't know what the hell's going on. The makeup looks like it was done by kindergarten kids learning to finger paint. John Travolta plays 3 or 4 age groups, but his kid who's in it, plays one, and all the time he looks exactly the same. I had no idea what was happening through this whole movie. Sometimes Gotti's in prison talking to his kid. Sometimes he's narrating. Sometimes, actually, no, wait. All the time. I had no clue what was supposed to be showing me through this whole movie. They say a lot of names that nobody watching knows who these names are. There's times where they're just listing names. It was like, I'm going to just shoot a movie where John Travolta lists off a whole bunch of names. And I'm like, who the fuck are these characters? We don't even know any of it.
Yes.
And then every 3 minutes, they have to, of course, do a scene change. And there is no real story, or at least one that you can follow. It's like they wanted to be Goodfellas, but without any writers, or story, or focus, or sense, or any of that. What I can say is that the 0 on the fresh meter was too much for this piece of garbage. I'm not sure if this was the start of John Travolta's choices that put him on our doubted list, but this is definitely one of the main reasons he's on our doubted list. This film is just horrible. It's so bad.
Yeah, it is.
It's so bad. I had no clue about anything that was happening.
Yeah,
It was just all over the place.
It's true.
You're a horrible person.
As I say, you are in for it with this round of stuff from my dad.
Well, he only spent 6 months researching
compiling this rage bag.
and it was worth it because, man, it is something to behold. Something to behold.
Ugh, well, you know what? At least I have something to look forward to. I don't know what. Something in there is going to make me happy. I can feel it.
All right.
All right,
So what
well,
are we
let's
doing?
pull from the Merman's ice creamy bucket of rage. Let me just reach into this bucket of wholesome goodness. All right, let me just pull this out. Recoil? What's recoil?
Recoil. What year?
This is recall. Is that what it is?
Recoil.
I think this is Steve Austin
Stone
versus-
Cold.
Stone Cold
versus
Stunner.
Danny Trejo
Danny Trejo's in it? Okay, it's going to be good.
and Steve Austin.
How can we be bad with Danny Trejo? Who doesn't love Danny
Machete?
Trejo?
Who doesn't want a whole?
I love Machete.
Who doesn't
Machete
want-
versus Stone Cold Steve Austin? That sounds like a match made in heaven.
Yeah, Machete's like what, 5'2".
Yeah.
Steve Austin's like
He-
7 feet.
He
4.
is short.
No, he isn't. He's
He's
about
short.
6 feet.
Oh no,
Steve Austin's short?
No, Machete is short.
He is
Machete
5'2".
is so short.
I met him, got a picture with him, and I'm taller than he is.
Yeah, he's 5. Like I said, he's 5'2".
I am also taller than he is.
I'm not sure if I am
He can
taller
still
than
kick
he
my
is.
ass though.
Machete is
Yeah, well,
like
you
in
could-
his 80s.
Doesn't even have to kick
And
your
it-
ass. He could just knock you down with his stare.
Machete?
Yeah, well, or his Machete. Okay, well, you know what? I haven't seen a good Machete movie in a while, so I'm looking forward to this.
There you go.
And we can
Nice.
see it on Tubi.
Tubi. Well, you used to be able to. I don't know if it's still there, but
Let's hope.
they do occasionally pull stuff. But
Hmm,
all right then.
Nice.
Very good.
All right. Well, thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks to the extended Film Rage family, who you can find in our show notes. Thanks to Casey, the nerdy photographer, the voice of Rage or Dare, and our God of Rage. Find us on social media everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site, or Redbubble and TeePublic, where you can buy some granny panties with your favorite Film Rage merch. We're always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, and subscribe, and send us emails to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare to see terrible movies to fuel our rage. But no matter what you do, please, please, please make us a rage. That's it for this week. Rage on.
Rage on.